So what I want to talk about today is how to learn tattooing while in a current job. It's a massive topic that is a huge problem for so many people out there. So obviously when I started, I was in the same position, and there's so many others. The problem that people obviously face is they want to learn how to tattoo, however they've got a full-time job, and the problem with the traditional tattoo apprenticeship is it requires you to be there pretty much every single day. So when you're a little bit older, or you've got family commitments, you've got your own home to run, it almost seems impossible to be able to put yourself into a tattoo apprenticeship, because you can't just quit work. Not everybody can afford a year or two with no income when they've got, like I say, families to support, home to run, food to buy, car insurance, for everything. And it becomes like a mental block. You feel like there's no other way of doing it. Obviously, a lot of people will jump on YouTube and try and juggle bits of information from here, there, and everywhere and piece it all together, which is the route that I did. But it is a massive problem within the industry. Just that one thing. How can I tattoo while keeping my current job? And I believe until I brought my course out, there were no other courses that... There's loads of tattoo courses out there, but they're more aimed at somebody that can already tattoo. So there's ones out there on realism and things like that, but not really that were set out in a proper curriculum that taught you from never holding a machine right up to doing portraits in a structured format. A lot of people feel like the tattoo artists currently, the shop owners out there, are gatekeepers, and it's true to a certain extent, because their views and opinions are that the only way into the tattoo industry is through a traditional tattoo apprenticeship. And like I say, it's just not feasible for so many people out there. They can't quit work to obviously put the time and the effort into a traditional apprenticeship. There's other things that the industry needs to try and offer. So for those that are just 100% set on, well, I want to learn in a shop from a particular artist, just as an example, we need to start as an industry trying to think of different ways to cater for people that can't just quit work. Yeah, it'll mean the tattoo artists put in extra time and effort in. So there's one thing, if most people work 9 till 5, the tattoo artist and then the apprentice could go do the normal jobs and then have maybe 2-3 hours on an evening on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, if tattoo artist is acceptable to do that, to train somebody. I don't know any artists that actually do that, but that's another way to try and conquer and try and help people that are in the position of they can't just quit the job. The method that I obviously use is my online full tattooing course, Tattoo Method Pro. There'll be links in the description if you want to go check that out. But the story behind me creating that is I know exactly how it feels on the other end, not just as a tattoo artist, because I started in the exact same shoes as what more than likely you're in. I had a full-time job. I actually learned how to tattoo whilst I was in military, so I was working full-time. I didn't have a structured course to follow. I was one of them. I was just watching every single video that I possibly could. Learned things in wrong order. Missed a load of stuff out that I needed to learn. But over years and years and years of doing that, it got me to a point where I could do a tattoo and it looked good. And then I opened my own shop. Admittedly, the first few years were, I'd say 3 years, were a massive struggle, because I didn't have that structured learning. And like I say, I missed so much out and did things in wrong order. it were very slow for them first few years. I didn't understand how to run a business properly. I couldn't tattoo properly. I thought I could at the time. It's only years later that I realised, no, you were doing it completely wrong, or missing certain key elements out. And then things started changing. I went back to drawing board, started right back from absolute basics, and thought, right, I need to learn this. What order should I learn? I started looking at it from more of a teaching curriculum point of view, rather than just I want to learn this, and doing all fun bits, focusing on my weak areas and things like that. And I managed to grow my business massive. I ended up with people travelling from literally all over the place just to come to me for my work. I literally could not tattoo any single person more than what I were currently doing. I were working morning till night, sometimes 7 days a week. I can remember one particular stint, I think I did about 8 months without a single day off. But then I became the gatekeeper then. I were getting messages daily, weekly, people wanting me to learn them how to tattoo. So I almost felt disheartened that I were then the person preventing people from being able to learn. For them to come in and have a traditional apprenticeship, they'd have had to quit the job, because I wanted somebody morning till evening, every day at week. And that wasn't to stop somebody following the dream, far from it, but I felt like I wanted to give them my absolute best. So it led me to start the apprentices that I did have in. I were busy tattooing all day. So I felt like they were just in there being skivvies, cleaning, which I rolled my sleeves up and I'd clean for a good hour before I started work as well. Once I'd finished, I'd have a tidy up before I left. So I didn't want them just doing all the skivvy jobs, I like to look at them as. I wanted them to be learning, but I didn't have the time to put in. For me to cancel a tattoo or not book somebody in for that duration were actually costing me money, which is, from a business aspect, something that I wasn't prepared to do. So I started thinking, right, well, if I make videos whilst I'm sat tattooing, my apprentice can just sit and watch the video and learn from watching that. They can repeat it as many times as they want. It just made sense to me. Then I started putting them on YouTube, and the amount of messages and the amount of enforcement everybody were giving me positively, saying it's helped them so much. I thought, oh, hold on a minute. I don't just have to let one person watch these videos, my apprentice. Then I thought I could send it out to other tattoo artists so they could let their apprentices watch it, rather than having to stop tattooing and teaching somebody. But it wasn't tattoo artists predominantly that were messaging me. It were people just like you, wanting to learn. They couldn't get a tattoo apprenticeship, or it just wasn't feasible. They had commitments, probably like yourself, work, and everything that we've already mentioned. So it then led me to, hold on, I can open this up and make it accessible to absolutely everybody. And that's the basis of Tattoo Method Pro. I want to make learning how to tattoo accessible to anybody wanting to learn, despite what circumstances you've got. It is doable for absolutely anybody. Once I launched the course and getting feedback from students that have followed it, a lot of the people have said the reason that they bought the course is because they had work commitments. It is, I think, in the tattoo industry, that alone, that one reason, is probably one of the biggest reasons people can't get an apprenticeship, purely because they can't sacrifice their current income to learn a new skill. So it is a massive, massive problem that the Tattoo Method Pro course is the solution for. Obviously, you can do it in your own time. You've got lifetime access to all the content and any future updates. But the beauty of it is you can still keep your current job, and then when you get home, craft out like a life plan and set aside certain times, either daily, every other day. It might even be just on the weekends, but predominantly as regular as you can, And there's literally no excuse. Everybody can put aside a little bit of time. I understand that loads of people have got kids. I've got kids myself. Kids love drawing. So I know with my 3 kids, I could sit and learn tattooing. My daughter, she's 13 now, but I think when she was 12 or 11, I actually had her following my course. She absolutely loved it. However, if they're slightly younger, you can just have them with some crayons, some pens, and they're sat drawing whilst you're sat tattooing. Get them involved. Kids love stuff like that, and it makes it a family thing then, rather than trying to not use it as an excuse, but think, oh, well, I've got kids. When am I going to do it? Which so many parents, me, myself, I think, I can't do that because I've got kids. They'll be wanting me attention. They'll be wanting doing this. I just want total peace and quiet. So I can get it. However, there's things that you can do to involve them, and they actually love it. They think that they're spending quality time with mum or dad, when really it is benefiting you. There's the other thing, if you work from home, if you're in a position where you can take your tattooing stuff to work, during your lunch break, if you get an hour's lunch break, that hour is so vital. We can use this time to better ourselves and learn a new skill. If you're just taking a packed lunch or a quick sarnie to work, it takes 10 minutes to eat that. The rest of that time you could be practicing on your mats. So many people use the excuse of, I haven't got time. Well, because this is online, you can access it anywhere. You can do the lessons completely at your own speed. You can't rush through them. However, you can go slower than one lesson a day. I myself and so many people, they'll go to work, they'll come home, they'll watch Netflix, they'll watch soaps. It's taking up so much of us time, but not actually benefiting you in any way, shape or form. So we could swap the hours that we spend on social media, scrolling through, looking at everybody's life, most of the time being jealous because everybody puts these pretend lifestyles on there. So you're looking at everybody else, oh, they're going here, they're doing this, look how happy they are, I'm sat scrolling. You can swap that for actually doing something that's going to progress you in life and get you to that dream position where you're in your own shop, you're working for somebody else, but you're tattooing, doing something that you love and enjoy on a daily basis. The best bit is you actually get paid for that. It's hard to even class it as a job once you're doing it. But you can swap scrolling through social media for learning. We can swap sat for God knows how long watching Netflix or films. Again, not benefiting your life in any way, shape or form. Swap those things that are not important and not pushing you forward in life for educating yourself. Give yourself that time that you deserve to pursue something. The main thing when you've got a full-time job, time is going to be limited. So make sure you make the most of that time and do things that's going to push you towards an end result rather than just wasting it scrolling through social media, watching crap on TV. But the main thing is we've got to keep it consistent. So if not quitting your job to go get a tattoo apprenticeship is the route that you've got to go down and you're wanting to follow a course, again, it's structured. It takes you from never holding a machine right up to doing portraits. And if that's the choice that you want and the route that you want to go down, we've got to keep the training consistent. Even think of learning how to drive a car. If you just have one lesson a month, we're not creating that muscle memory. It's not sinking in. We're not putting enough time in on a regular basis for the muscles and the brain to do things almost subconsciously. So small and often beats just doing a full Saturday and Sunday once a month from morning till night. If you can spare, and there's so many easy ways, like we've already covered, social media, watching TV, there's so many ways to just spare 1 hour a day. Literally just 1 hour. If you could do more than that, even better. But everybody watching this, if you be honest with yourself, we waste so much time doing things that are not benefiting us or propelling us forward. And we can swap them things out and stop doing them. They're pointless for doing something that's going to actually benefit you. just quickly on the course, and this is really important because it accelerates the learning process. The structure of the course, if you've not already seen it, if you've not been on the 30 days or you're not a full course member, which I'm assuming you're not if you're watching along with this video, there's a certain way that I do things. Every lesson, right from day one, progresses on to the next lesson. And I've had so many students say, do you want me to keep redoing the line lesson because they've sent the work in and the line work's not quite right? And I always say, we keep learning the same things throughout the entire course. So even if you reach lesson 150, we're still drilling the line work lessons right back from day one, because it's a consistent thing. We need to be constantly trying to improve and better ourselves in each area of tattooing. So rather than just becoming stuck on a particular lesson, what I say is just keep going, but use the drills and exercises that I teach in the lessons as almost like a little warm-up before you do lesson 168. Still struggling with lines, which I very much doubt you would be at that time. Just do the drills from the very first lesson as a 10-minute little warm-up drill before you do that next lesson. So you still got the momentum going through the course. However, as well as that, you're also drilling them earlier things to help build muscle memory, improve your skill, improve your hand and eye coordination, which is a massive thing that for people to get used to. And then there's after you've finished the course, how do you then transition? Obviously, what you don't want to do is just jump in with 2 feet and think, right, now I'm going to quit my job. I'm instantly going to become a tattoo artist. What you can do is dip your toes in just for that safety net. I didn't do it that way. I just went from one job. I opened my own shop, dived in with 2 feet and basically took the risk. Obviously, long term, it's worked out perfect. But there's so many times within that first 3 years that were literally rock bottom on red line. I can remember one instance, I were on my way home and my wife at the time had messaged me saying, look, can you get some, I think it was bread, milk and sugar, tea bags, stuff like that, just some essentials for home. And I had that embarrassing moment of when I got to checkout till I'd put all my items on, reached into my pocket to get some money out, and I didn't have enough money. It was embarrassing to go put stuff back, so I used my card. That had been totally emptied as well. So I had to put a few items back, and I were at complete rock bottom. I had an house to pay for, everything, but because I jumped in with 2 feet and I didn't have any security or safety net, I didn't have any other income. I then had all my house and my life bills, kids to support, wife to support, home to run. And then on top of that as well, I had my shop, all outgoings for that. I had supplies to buy, marketing to pay for. I just thought, wow, this is literally as low as I can possibly ever get. And I can remember walking out at shop and in car on my way home, obviously back to missus and kids. I can just remember making a promise to myself, Ben, you will never, ever let yourself get into this position again. And fingers crossed, since that day, I have never been in that position ever again, and I wouldn't allow it. Obviously, you can never predict future. Something drastic could happen. I could lose everything, but my mindset had completely changed. So my advice for anybody that's got a job, obviously you can do my course, you can learn the skills of tattooing alongside that job. And then we can think about doing a smooth transition from your current job to becoming a tattoo artist full time. So you could start off just working weekends in somebody else's shop. You could even hire a shop out, depending on what your salary is at minute, and just work evenings after work a couple of days a week, weekends. Build your clientele up slowly, start building a reputation, start getting loads of people messaging you constantly, I want this, I want this, I want this, and you think, wow, now is the time. I've got a client base, I've got a reputation building, I can actually get rid of that old job now because this income is solid. So there's always ways of doing things for anybody that's nervous out there. I wasn't. I just jump in with 2 feet. I get something in my head and I just pursue it. But I know there's so many people out there that think there's going to be that many obstacles. How do I do this? How do I do that? And that's a natural thing to obviously worry about. But there is ways. And I explain these ways in the course. You can do the course. You can do it, like I say, in your own time. There's methods of doing things to create time if you're busy, even outside work, family commitments, kids. Spending too much time scrolling, everybody's guilty of it, myself included, and I can guarantee you are. You're watching this on YouTube, how long do you spend sat on YouTube watching videos and videos? Well, doing is much better than just watching. Don't just go on channels and watch video after video after video of people just saying, right, do this, do that, but never actually implementing it. Let's start taking action instead of just watching a load of people and basically helping them towards their dream while you're still stuck in mud. So basically, to answer the question, in short, how to learn how to tattoo while keeping your current job, the answer's quite simple. I've got a full course. It's called Tattoo Method Pro. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you've already heard my name, Ben Fisher. You've already heard of Tattoo Method Pro. Go look at the website. Flick through the rest of the videos. Don't spend all evening. If you're wasting your time just watching, it is just a waste of time. Get the materials that you need. Start following along to the free 30-day course. It's not costing you a penny. You don't have to quit your job. And it's dipping your toe in the water. I've put it out there for completely free. You don't have to put any bank details in. You don't have to sign up to anything that's in a month or 2 months, 3 months, then going to start taking money out of your bank. I don't ask for any bank details. I've put it out there just purely for anybody that's interested in tattooing to give it a try. See if it's for you. You might get to day 15 and think, oh, actually, I don't quite enjoy this. Well, it's not for you then. No harm done. At least you've given it a try. It's dipping your toe in and having a little taster. And if you do enjoy it, and you like the way that I teach, you like the structure, you like how one lesson naturally progresses onto the rest, then there's some deals for you to get onto the full course and continue that learning process. There's one thing that I will say is, and I've had quite a lot of my students message, is momentum in anything is always a good thing. What you don't want to do is stop that momentum and then have to start again. Whether that's learning a new skill, in business, in anything in life really, even going to gym. Go to gym every day for a month, 2 months, 3 months. You'll see really good progress. And then if you have a month off, it's almost like you've got to start from day one again. Same rule applies to tattooing. Do the 30 days. If you enjoy it and you think, yep, this is the journey that I want to take. I want to become a tattooist. Don't let that momentum stop. It is so important that we keep it going. You imagine a snowball rolling from top of a mountain. As it comes down, it's getting faster, it's getting bigger due to momentum and gathering more knowledge or more ice, more snow as it's going down. You don't want that to just stop, because then once it starts again, it's got to then pick up speed. We want it to just go from the top all the way down as far as it can go without having to stop. Let that momentum propel you even quicker. So if it is for you, jump on the course. You'll get sent some offers via email once you sign up to it. And then you also get added to a private Facebook group that is full of people in the exact same position as you. And there's so many of them that have, in fact, the biggest majority of people, they've got full-time jobs. They're on the course because they're in the same position as you. Ignore anybody out there that turns around and says the only way to get into the tattoo industry is through a traditional tattoo apprenticeship. And that's not me just saying it because I want you on the course. It's fact. I never had a tattoo apprenticeship. I'm in top 1% of tattoo artists worldwide for income. If you research any of your favourite artists that have got the biggest names in the industry, I'm not going to mention names, but it's all over internet, the life stories, how they got into it. It's so easy to see that actually so many of the biggest names in the industry, if you research them, they didn't actually have apprenticeships either. They were self-taught. I believe that my course is better than a traditional apprenticeship. For a simple reason, when you go into a tattoo shop and you've got a traditional apprenticeship, what's the likelihood that that tattoo artist is going to repeat something to you 50 times if needed, show you how to do a line work on a customer? All right, can you show me that? Well, it's done now. They can't just repeat it. So that's one obvious benefit straight away. They haven't got the time. Well, you can watch the videos again whenever you want, as many times as you want. You're in the Facebook group, which is like no other group worldwide. It's one of the proudest things that I've got about the course, if I'm honest, because I've been on quite a few of these other online groups for tattoo apprentices and things like that. People put work on and it looks really good. There's so much positive about the work that they've done. But if you read the comments, all they're doing is getting slagged off. Oh, this is rubbish. That's this. And it's half the time it's by people that ain't got a clue what they're talking about. They're just overlooking all the positive aspects of the tattoo and just focusing on one bit that were done bad, which is a natural thing to a lot of people. But within the paid group, the private group that you get put into, there is absolutely none of that. I've not seen one negative comment. Loads of people put work on. A lot of it needs improvements in the lines, the shading. You can see where the whip shade and not gone right up to the line. But everybody jumps on and they're supportive. They say, oh, I've noticed you've not gone right up to the line with that little bit of shading. If you go to lesson so-and-so, that's where Ben covers how to guarantee that happens. And you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I'm a huge believer that in life, if you surround yourself by 5 idiots for a year, 2 years, you become the next idiot. If you surround yourself with successful, like-minded people, within a year or two, you're going to learn from them. You become the next success. And I'm a massive advocate that you become your surroundings. So the Facebook group, it's really well monitored. Everybody's on the same page. We're all singing from the same hymn sheet, so to speak, because everybody's on the course. They're following the same lessons. And it's a massive, massive bonus of the course. So there is a way of doing it without an apprenticeship. Like I say, I think my course is basically an apprenticeship that you can do at home. Apart from it's better, it's more structured, you can do it when you want. And then there is a way of transitioning from the learning into doing it as a full time. So if you are sat on the fence, if you feel like you're stuck in the mud, you've been dreaming of becoming a tattoo artist for as long as you can remember, but you can't quit your job to become a tattooist through a traditional apprenticeship route, then yeah, there is another alternative. I want you to go to the website, have a look, have a read. There's loads of comments on there and they're not just made up comments, they're not just things that I've plucked out of thin air. I've even put, if you're familiar with my Facebook page, the Inkrush page, there's a section on there that's full to the brim. I think it's the very top post of people that have done the 30 days or they're on the full course. Real life reviews. There's no hiding anything. And the real people, just like you, a lot of times they'll put where they're from. It's people from around the world, but there's no negativity in there at all. Everybody's singing. Everybody's wanting to jump on the bandwagon. It's the success train, so to speak. And I do believe that as motto within the business, we want to make learning how to tattoo accessible to anybody wanting to learn. People are starting to shout it from rooftops. Tattoo Method Pro is becoming a recognised name within the tattoo industry, not just in the UK where I'm from, but everywhere. I think 54% of my followers and people actually on the course are based in US. We've got people from Canada, Australia, Mexico, Cyprus, Germany, literally Switzerland, everywhere you can imagine, we've got people there. and they're all making friends. They're creating a network of people. It's absolutely amazing. So please, if you feel stuck, don't. There's always another way. Go check out Tattoo Method Pro, and hopefully I'll see you in the course, whether it be the 30 days for completely free or the full course. Wish you best of luck, and speak to you all soon. Cheers.